Outdoor Eats is a company and community focused on elevating your outdoor meals with fast, easy, and tasty recipes that anyone can cook up. The goal for this trip is we are in for what the canyon has to offer, and hopefully we're gonna find a nice soft spot to camp. A few paces into our trip, we need to cross this river or else we're gonna be wasting a lot of daylight. Looks like the sun is dipping behind that ridge back there. We may have to cook in the dark tonight. It's dinner time.
Oh man, this is amazing.
Done a lot of stuff in the kitchen, but there's something about cooking outside and finding spots to do it that I just love. This is really pretty. Well, Makoto, I think we found our spot for the night.
Not much better than this.
We've got 5 big mesa bluffs here, and we get to camp here tonight.
I'm Chef Corso, hiker, backpacker, and classically trained chef on a mission to elevate outdoor meals because food on the trail should be so much more than just calories. Join me and my friends as we explore beautiful trails and cook up quick, easy, and delicious meals to share together. This is Outdoor Eats.
I'm Chef Corso, and I'm head chef and founder of Outdoor Eats. Outdoor Eats is a company and community focused on elevating your outdoor meals with fast, easy, and tasty recipes that anyone can cook up. But it all comes back to sharing of a great meal in a beautiful location. Outdoor Eats is really for any outdoor activity. So if you're hiking, camping, bike packing, RV camping, any sort of activity outdoors, our recipes can work for you. If you're going outside, I want you to be able to eat well. Today we're headed out on a 2-night, 3-day backpacking trip into the hills of southeast Arizona. It's an area that I have never been to. I'm really excited to explore. Joining me on this trip is my great friend, Makoto. He's flying down from Seattle out of the rainy winter gloom, and we are both excited to enjoy some nice sunshine in the desert.
The only things that I know about this trip are that we're gonna walk, hike, climb, get dirty, and eat well.
The first thing I do before I head out on the trail is I go shopping. And you might be thinking that these ingredients are gonna be fancy, they're gonna be gourmet, they're gonna be hard to find, but no, not really. I just usually head up to a local grocery store and just find some easy ingredients, easy pantry ingredients that are really approachable and really economical. For the meal plan for this trip, we've got 2 people and 3 days worth of food. And for me, I like to use the recipes as a final checklist, just making sure that I have all the ingredients, making it in the pack. But I like to use reusable Ziplocs, Ziploc bags, or stuff sacks to pack up all the ingredients so I can stay organized. So it's either 1 recipe per bag or 1 day per stuff sack. The route that we have planned today is down a canyon, and there have been some recent rains, so the river is running, which is definitely a good thing, but might provide some interesting challenges along the way. We're headed out on the first leg of the trail, and within the first few paces, we hit a river crossing. A few paces into our trip, we've got a choice to make. We need to cross this river or else we're gonna be wasting a lot of daylight. So water shoes on, let's get a little bit wet. There's a lot of potential reasons for a river crossing. For us here on this trip is there's not a defined trail, so it's kind of zigzag through the canyon. There's a big rock face on one side, there's a slide on another side, and you just kind of have to navigate it as you go. So where we are, it's not a well-defined trail, so we kind of weasel down this hillside, but yeah. So, you know, that's part of going outside, but I'm excited to be able to cook up some great meals once we're finally done here. And hey, Makoto, it looks like the sun is dipping behind that hillside. We might have to cook in the dark tonight.
Who needs light?
Who needs light when we got food?
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. Nice. Well, I think we found our campsite over there by that big old tree, but we just have 1 more river crossing to go before dinner.
Right by that clearing?
Right by that clearing. This part of the river is a little chillier. Well, I think we found our camp spot here for the first night. We've crossed a lot of rivers today, but we're gonna set up camp and get ready for cooking dinner for night 1, which is a classic package meal flavor that I know a lot of you have had before.
Outdoor Eats is brought to you by Merrill. Good things come to those who hike. Brew Trek. Coffee gear for your adventure. Looking for more inspiration? Outdoor Eats trail meal cookbooks are available at OutdoorEats.com.
We are making beef stroganoff here tonight. We've got camp all set up, but what we're gonna do tonight is we are gonna do a comparison. So we are going to boil up some water and make a package meal. And we are also gonna make a Outdoor Eats beef stroganoff recipe. And we're gonna do a taste test side by side because I want you guys to see the difference between the two different meals. So I'm gonna boil up some water for our package meal here. So while our water is boiling for our package meal, a little bit more about Outdoor Eats recipes. So all Outdoor Eats recipes are 10 ingredients or less, ready in 30 minutes or less, no pre-prep, no dehydrating, and most importantly, no packaged meals. But I want you to be able to eat with fresh, real ingredients on the trail because I think they taste better and will give you better fuel for your treks. Give that packaged meal a little bit of a stir, seal it up, and come back in a few minutes for our comparison. For our Outdoor Eats recipe, what I've done here is I packed up all of our ingredients in this reusable Ziploc bag. What I have in here is I've got some beef jerky, egg noodles, fried onions, I've got some fresh mushrooms and some dried mushrooms, a bouillon cube, and a packet of mustard. And last ingredient I have is some non-fat milk powder that'll give us some really nice creaminess. So for our pot here, we're just gonna get a little bit more water boiling and throw that beef jerky right in. And I'm also gonna throw in our bouillon cubes, and we're just gonna wait for that to come up to a boil. Our pot's coming up to a nice boil, and now we can get all of the rest of our ingredients in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my fresh mushrooms and my contents in the pack here. And the other ingredient that I had in here too is a little bit of garlic powder. I'm just gonna give that a nice stir and wait for our pasta to get cooked, and we'll be able to check out how all those flavors came together, see how that beef jerky hydrated in here. We've been cooking for about 7, maybe 10 minutes in our pot here, and I think it's time to finish off our beef stroganoff. I'm gonna add our non-fat milk powder here, and then I'm gonna add my mustard packet. And you might be asking, why are you adding mustard to stroganoff? Well, a really important component of any dish is acid. So a little bit of mustard has some nice, sneaky, acidic flavors that are really gonna complement our dish, make it taste amazing. So I'm just gonna give it another minute or two. This is ready. I think it's time for my buddy Makoto to come over for dinner. Hey, Makoto, come on over. All right, here's your spork, and it's time for our taste test. Let's taste package meal. So what are you tasting?
Packaged meals tend to be really salty, on the mushy side, not very appetizing. I'm tasting salt. I'm tasting
Salt, yeah.
mush.
Let's go ahead and taste up our Outdoor Eats recipe here.
Chef Corso's meals have the right consistency, they have flavor, there's just a lot of thought put into the meal plan. I'm getting all that happy feeling going on.
So which one would you want to eat for dinner tonight?
I mean, if I didn't want flavor, then I'd go with dehydrated meal. But if I want something that tastes like beef stroganoff, obviously I'd go with yours.
All right, well, let's dig in then.
Awesome.
We knew it was going to be chilly, but we didn't necessarily expect this much frost. So we definitely needed a nice cup of warm coffee to get us rolling before we cook breakfast. The sun has finally come up over that ridge, and we are making bacon cheddar grits this morning. For our ingredients for our bacon cheddar grits, number 1, we've got pre-cooked bacon. 2, we've got packaged little cheese snacks. And for our grits today, I am using actually cornbread mix. So the first thing that we need to do is wake up this bacon. So I'm just going to do a quick little rip in here. So once our bacon is nice and toasty, I'm gonna go ahead and add some water. And the ratio that we're looking for nice creamy grits is 3 to 1. So we're looking for 3 parts water to 1 part cornmeal mix or 1 part grit. It is thickening up, and believe it or not, we're at the last step of our breakfast recipe, which is adding our cheese. Give that a nice little stir and let that melt. There we go. We've got bacon cheddar grits, nice and cheesy. Let's give it a try. Here you go, man.
Awesome. What do we have here?
We got bacon cheddar grits this morning.
Ooh, nice. So what do we have planned today?
Well, I think we need to head up river a little bit more. We'll probably have a few more river crossings, but I've got a really tasty no-burner lunch recipe using Triscuits.
Triscuits. Can't wait.
So we're all packed up, and I love finding different spots to cook. And the great part about this area is it changes, every quarter mile. So I'm excited to see where we get to find to cook next.
Oh man, this is amazing.
This is really pretty. Done a lot of stuff in the kitchen, but I would much rather be out here. There's something about cooking outside and finding spots to do it that I just love.
Remind me how you got into this thing again?
It all started on a couple of my backpacking trips into the North Cascades National Park. We had a camp stove, and I'm like, well, I'm a chef, I think we can probably cook something pretty tasty on these. And the first couple recipes were really, really good. And I really wanted to figure out a way to share it with my friends, but then also the outdoor community. So it all started with a couple recipes. It's grown to over 275 recipes on the website right now, all trail tested. I was always trying to get outside and explore nature, having really great food, and Outdoor Eats has been able to combine those two things. As we got down the river, it got a little bit rugged and a little bit hairy. I don't think either of us were expecting this hike to be as rugged as it was, but every trip has its challenges, but it was kind of fun to work through those challenges together, kind of figure out the route as we went, and kind of get up and down and around some interesting spots. When it came time for lunch, I really wanted to find a nice spot to cook on, and I love finding flat rocks or stumps, and man, look at this thing. We found a great rock to cook on, really nice, stable surface with a beautiful vista in the background. So, we are making Triscuit panzanella for lunch today. Panzanella is a classic Italian bread salad, so you could easily make this with some old French bread, some old ciabatta. So for this recipe, I'm just using some red peppers, baby tomatoes, a little bit of protein, a little bit of a vinaigrette right over the top, a mixture of balsamic and red wine vinegar, got some oregano or Italian seasoning. For any panzanella, it's really important that you let it marinate. You could just let it sit here on the rock and stare at the river, or you could have a little dance party on the rocks.
The Triscuit panzanella meal is an experience. In traditional Chef Corso style, it can't just be mix it around, wait around. You had to get active, you had to get dancing. I'd like to think that my dance moves made it taste better.
All right, let's eat. Awesome. So this has been sitting for about 10 minutes. Flavors have really come together.
That's amazing.
I can't wait for you guys to try this because this tastes amazing for being just a bag of Triscuits with a couple ingredients in it. A little bit of a crunch from the red pepper, the freshness of the tomato is really, really delightful, and something that is sorely missed from packaged meals that I try to add to a lot of recipes for outdoor cooking. Both Makoto and I had our eyes set on a great campsite, and we needed to meander down the river. Well, first and hopefully last water crossing of the day.
Question mark?
Yeah, man, I don't know.
Ooh, that's brisk.
Whew, love it, love it. We decided to take the high road and do a little scramble up here through the cacti, which may be a great choice or it may be a terrible choice instead of, fording the river a couple times. But we're gonna find out. We're definitely earning our dinner tonight. Well, I think we need to make a choice pretty soon. It says the sun is getting long in the day there.
Why not right here?
It's not a bad idea. These big cathedral cliffs right here. Well, Makoto, I think we found our spot for the night.
Yeah, not much better than this.
It's time for dinner, and Makoto is gonna join me with prep for our dinner here tonight. We are making pad thai tonight, and we're gonna make pad thai 2 ways. Yes, bonus recipe here in the rocks. What I'm gonna do in this bowl here is make a traditional version of pad thai. And ingredients for that is we've got some tamarind paste. We're gonna throw in some curry paste, some fish sauce, even it out with a little bit of sugar. And then for Makoto over here, He is gonna make a version that is a little bit more American friendly. You could call it peanut butter spicy noodles. So we're gonna use peanut butter packets, a little bit of salt, a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of ginger powder, a little bit of sriracha, and a little bit of rice vinegar. One thing to note as we're making both of these sauces is, we're not measuring everything exactly. We don't have teaspoons or tablespoons here with us. We are eyeballing everything. But one thing I share with a lot of folks out there is that you can always add more. And really, really important to taste your food along the way.
That has some kick, a little pungent.
So we are going to get a pot of noodles going here.
So what we got here are some campy chopsticks. We're having pad thai tonight, and it wouldn't be proper without a nice pair of chopsticks.
Our pot is all boiling and it is ready for noodles. So we're just gonna throw in some rice noodles. So Mac, here's a spork for when we can eat.
Hold on,
What?
I got something for you.
What?
Little gift.
You make campy chopsticks?
Of course, it's noodles, it's pad thai.
Nice, thank you. Our noodles are all cooked up here, so it's time to put together our bowls. Oh, yes. Noodles in the desert, in the breeze. Nice. Let's mix this up. Wow, look at that. So let's garnish it up. You want to put nuts on yours to match with your peanut butter? I think I will slice a little bit of this red pepper on mine to give it a little bit of color. Nice little squeeze.
Yeah, synchronized limeage.
Cheers,
Cheers.
man. Thanks for cooking. That tastes really, really good.
Incredible flavor. Got the smoothness there.
And the freshness from our garnish party over here, super, super good. We are gonna finish dinner here. We're gonna enjoy the sunset over these bluffs and enjoy our noodle bowl.
Outdoor Eats is brought to you by Merrill. Good things come to those who hike. Brew Trek. Coffee gear for your adventure. And InForAdventure.com. Inspiring, educating, and encouraging outdoor adventure.
One of my favorite parts about any camping trip is waking up with the morning light. Pretty way to start the day, our last day here in the desert. But this is my favorite part about going camping, is watching the sun wake up a valley, a vista, a canyon, or anything. And I love taking a few minutes and just soaking it in before we have to break down camp and head downriver. Well, as you can see, it's another chilly morning, but we need a warm breakfast to warm us up. But the great part about our breakfast recipe this morning is all the ingredients fit right in my pocket. So we are making a cranberry orange granola. We've got 5 ingredients, including water. It's gonna cook up in about 5 or 10 minutes. But let's get cooking. So first step for our cranberry orange granola this morning is we're gonna get our dried cranberries into our pot. And 2 small mandarins. Gonna throw a little bit of cinnamon in there. Gonna add a little bit of water to get our burner going. And what we're looking for here is all the flavors to come together. The cranberries are dry, are gonna accept some of that water. The oranges are gonna break down a little bit and give some water as well. So this is gonna cook for another minute or 2. For our granola here this morning, just gonna crumble right into our pot here. I'm just gonna give that a quick stir. Let all of our ingredients come together. But we have got cranberry orange granola in just a few minutes. Nice, warm, hearty breakfast. Start our day with here today. Let's give it a try. That is warming my whole body and tasting really, really good this morning. I'm feeling better already. The last day of any trip is always kind of bittersweet. You enjoyed being outside, but you also kind of want to get back to your rig. So we've got some miles down the river, a few more river crossings, and still going to be a great adventure out of this canyon.
This trip has been about walking, hiking, eating well, hanging out with a good buddy. What more could you ask for?
It was beautiful. It was cool to see all the different varieties. Oh man, we made it. Yes. Hey Mac, I got one more surprise for you.
Of course you do.
We're doing a Trailgate snack.
Having a Trailgate at the end of this adventure was totally unexpected. It's like having a cherry on top of a dessert, no pun intended.
So for our Trailgate snack here, we are gonna make chorizo queso. We're gonna add some chorizo to our pot and get that cooking up. Just squeeze it on in there. So this happens to be a soy rizo. You can use pork chorizo as well. So we're waiting for our chorizo just to warm up. I'm just gonna open up my Velveeta pack. Velveeta is quote unquote cheese. So it is a cheese product. It is classic Americana. It isn't necessarily the best quality cheese, but the quality that is great about Velveeta, it melts really, really well. So I'm just gonna do some nice nuggets of our Velveeta in here and throw a little bit more beer, loosen it up. Mac, you wanna give it a nice stir? Oh yeah. And we're also gonna add salsa pouches, and then we've also got some fresh cilantro, and we've got a lime, nice fresh squeeze of lime, and a dip. Nice. I dip, you dip, we dip. This is it. This is exactly what you want at the end of your trip. A warm, cheesy, dippable snack. I was really surprised with this trip and with this canyon. Around every turn, there was something pretty to see. There was a cool bluff. There was a fun river crossing. There were some really cool colors, some really cool sounds. And the campsites that we were able to find were just awesome.
Any trip with Chef Corso is an adventure. We had pad thai in the middle of a desert. I'd just like to thank Chef Corso for inviting me along. I truly appreciate our friendship, and I truly appreciate the ability to eat well and do this adventure with him. What an experience.
Well, thanks for coming along for our backpacking trip into the Arizona desert. But get out there, cook something amazing, somewhere awesome. Boca Boca.